Hey guys, so today I am doing a video on my weapon collection that I have for quite some time. Um Now I did separate the big weapons from the small ones. Um like from like small to medium and large and all that. Anyways, so let's get started with the video. Now beware, all of my weapons are extremely strong. They are all made, well, some of them are made of stainless steel, but some of them are made of copper steel, and um, one of them, the handle is made of aluminum, and the blade itself is made of stainless. So we're gonna get started from the tiniest one. Now, this is probably the crappiest one. I don't even know why I brought this. It actually looked a lot bigger and more sturdier when I got it online. So this is what it looks like. I know the handle looks pretty cool, but it's very small. The knife is too loose. It sucks. And it's supposed to have like a lighter here. But sadly it does not have fuel in it. I should have thought about that. I don't know why I thought that when I bought this knife it would already have fuel in it. But I should have known that I was supposed to buy some. So I wasted like money on this. It was very cheap, so I could see why. So this is the I'm trying to get this blade out. See, the thing is it gets stuck, and that's why I don't like this blade so much. Oh, so hard. If I could just get it out somehow. Yeah, don't ever buy this knife at all, because it gets stuck in there and I can't get it out. It really sucks. Jeez. You know, we're not going to do this one. This one's crappy. Anyways, so let's start here. So let's start off with my dark side blade. This is probably one of my favorite knives. I know it's very small, but it's actually pretty cool because you can see that it has a gold dragon on it. They came in about 3 different colors, like red, I think it was like red, blue, and gold. And I was debating whether to choose red or a gold color, because red gives it an awesome, cool look, and plus, you know, there's gold as well, and gold was also pretty cool. I got the gold one because I realized, you know, I'm always collecting weapons in the color of red, so I was like, why don't I just get a gold color, because you don't see that very often. As you can see, it has a dragon eye on it, and it has like scales right here across the dragon's eye. And so yeah, let's open this up. So how you open this is like any ordinary flip blade. Just be careful when you open this kind of blade, because it's a curved looking blade, as you can see. So you don't want to like accidentally, because that will hurt like right on your hand. It's painful. Trust me, I've cut myself a few times. So all you want to do is, this is how fast it opens. So you just push down on that and it opens up. So again, let me show you closer. So again, you want to push this down, and then it comes out like that. And you can see it has a very sharp edge right here, very pointy. So this could definitely probably make a really nasty scar on somebody's eye. So if you were to go, it will go, and you'll probably be in so much pain. I know a lot of people get kind of nervous because they're asking me like, oh, you know, like, do you kill people? Or like, you know, 'cause a lot of people, they think that I'm, you know, I'm not saying that, maybe they're just joking, but sometimes I get judged sometimes for it. You know, if people have told me, oh, you know, you can get in trouble for that. You can't bring them out in public, and that's illegal. Like, you know, I know what I'm doing. It's not illegal to be a weapons collector, but it's illegal to carry a concealed weapon on you in public. Um, and I know a lot of people ask me, what do I use these weapons for? I do use them. I use some of my blades to open things that are kind of hard to open, like, you know, like if, say, if my mother ordered a really big package and she couldn't get it open with a regular knife, I would use one of my stainless steel blades to open it with, or my claws. But yeah, anyways, I also do use them to cut fruit, so don't get me wrong there. But I also just like collecting them because they're really cool. So yeah, and I have some swords and machetes that I use to cut weeds out of the ground with and stuff. So, but yeah, so this blade is very sharp. So if you were to cut something, you really don't have to put pressure in it. As you can see, it just goes right through with no problem at all. Very, very sharp indeed. So yeah, the entire knife, including the handle itself, is made of stainless steel. So it's pretty cool, very fast, you know, really, really fast. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I also like do some poses like this, you know, or like that. But yeah, you don't want to flip this knife, because if you were to, I mean, I'm sure you guys don't, but don't, it's just don't. Because I know sometimes there's people on YouTube that like try to show off and do tricks with knives like these, and they'll like flip them, and then, you know, sometimes it'll get caught like right on the palm and it hurts, so you don't ever want to do that. But yeah, this knife is one of my favorites. It's really, really sharp. Very, very sharp. So, that's one of them. I got this blade from the Wish app, the online China market, because a lot of the weapons on there that I order are actually very cheap. Most of them on Amazon are very expensive. So now we're going to start with another one that I've had this one for years, months maybe. This is a Z Hunter blade. As you can see, it's Z Hunter. And it has a red claw mark on it. Right there. And then I know you can see that it has some of the paint on it, but it kind of rubbed off. So kind of like the one that I just showed you, it has the same kind of handle or button, whatever you want to call it, that opens the blade. So it just opens up like that. This one had like a symbol on it, but because I've used this knife for so long, the paint on the knife itself came off, because, you know, when you're cutting through stuff, or if you're cutting fruit or washing it, it does rub some of the paint off. But it's not much of the knife that's worn out. This knife never really gets worn out. Most of my weapons don't ever get worn out. They're extremely sharp no matter what you use to cut them with. But yes, I do sharpen them. I have a whetstone here that I use to sharpen my weapons with. I do clean them. So I clean my weapons with warm water and soap, and then I dry them off and stuff. When I'm using this whetstone, I always put water on it because it smooths out the surface and it makes it easier to sharpen your weapons with. But it's also good to clean them, because sometimes when you're using this thing for so long, or when you're sharpening a lot of knives on it, there's these little black specks that tend to appear on here. So anyways, so this is also a really sharp knife, like really sharp. So it cuts pretty good. So this was one of my very first favorite very first favorite knives that I had. I used it all the time when I would get, new packages from eBay. And I'd use it all the time because it was very sharp, because you can see that underneath it, it does have ridges here. And I like the design of it, and it says Z Hunter right there, and it has a clip on it. I always love flip blades. They've always been my favorite. I love carrying them around the house. But no, I do not go outside with these in public. I would never do that. I would probably be in jail and be, I'd probably be accused of murdering somebody. Alright, so next we have on our list is we have the snake eye blade, which was also one of my many favorites. This blade is my favorite because it has horns. And what's also pretty cool about these horns is that they can help you open a bottle of like Jamaican sodas, champagne or wine, or Japanese sodas and stuff like that, because as you can see, when you open a bottle that has one of those tops on it that needs, to be popped open, the horns itself can actually go deep underneath the cap, and you just pull it and it pops the top right off. I also like it because the fact that the horns are red, I always thought that, black and red go really well together. It gives it a very menacing appearance. And I like the fact that it has these red skulls on it. And I also love the feel of the blade because it's nice and smooth. I like the fact that it's curved. It almost kind of looks similar to how this one looks, because they look almost somewhat the same with the blades, except this one's a little bit more up, and this one's more like up and down. But I also like the fact that it has these ridges on top, and then it has holes right here. And then right here on the blade, it says the name of it, which says Snake Eye. So how this one opens, it's a curvy knife, so also again be very careful with this. It opens up like that, and you carry it like this because of the way that the handle is made. And yeah, so you can't really flip with this one because there's horns here, so when you grab it, it stays like that. But yeah, this blade is pretty badass, if you ask me. So, and yes, the horns are sharp, so please be careful with that. And this one does cut pretty well as well. Now, normally I would love to go outside and test these babies out to show you guys how sharp they are. I always test them on wood. I test them on paper to see how sharp they are. But unfortunately, it's raining outside. It's very crappy, so. But this blade is pretty damn cool. It definitely adds up to its name. I just love this knife. I remember when I first got it, I got it off eBay, and it was pretty cool to hold in my hand. But yeah, so yeah, it does. And I love this part. I just love it. So sometimes I know people have a hard time closing flip blades because of the lock on them. And I had a hard time figuring this out myself. I didn't know how to close blades until my cousin was teaching me how to. So as you can see right here, you probably really can't see it, but there is a lock here that you have to press down with your thumb. And while you're pressing it down, you want to push this blade down too, but make sure you don't cut yourself. So when you're hitting the lock, when you press it down, you should feel a little bit of a click, or you should feel like the blade loosening, which means that the blade is ready to close. You can also open a blade like this, but I wouldn't recommend it because you probably don't want to hurt your hand. But yeah, so when the blade kind of moves, or not necessarily gets loose, but it moves a little bit to tell you that, you know, you can close the blade. And now we have another one of my favorite knives, which is probably the most scariest knife that I hold in my hand, because I'm terrified of holding this knife in my hand because it is so sharp. It is literally sharper than the other blades I show you. I mean, those blades are sharp, but this is like beyond sharpness. Like, this is literally like so sharp that you don't even need to apply pressure with this knife. Now, what's cool about this knife, this is a M-Tech blade, and it's a military blade. And I love the handle of it because it's heavy, sturdy, bulky, and it's made of a very hard material. Now, the handle itself is made of aluminum, and it has like a, where is it? So it has like a little horn right here, right there, and that's very sharp. So that could probably hurt you if that hits your head. And then it has the American Eagle symbol on the handle itself when it is closed. This little gray spot there. And then here, this is where you open the knife. It's very sharp, very fast. And what's cool, it looks kind of like a gun when it's closed like this. You know, it literally looks like a straight up gun. Like, I'm dead serious. It looks like a gun. It's pretty cool. It looks kind of like a shotgun, you know. And yes, it does have a clip like all my other blades do. So when you open this, make sure that your hand is not here. Don't open it like that. You want to put your hands back here, and you want to open it. So then it says Marines, the few and the proud, and it says that right here on this blade. And it's really sharp. It has the ridges as well here, and it has like it has a very sharp point underneath the knife, as you can see the gray areas. And it's quite big. It's this big when I hold it like this. And again, this blade is also from the Wish app. So this one is so sharp. You know, I'm just going to go lightly. So it's extremely sharp. This one is a little bit of a pain in the butt to close because this has a very tough lock on it. I don't know why, but I have to like really put pressure into this knife to close it. So yeah, this is a M-Tech military blade, and it was made in America. Very, very hard. You definitely do not want to get hit or cut by this thing. This is scary. I had to wear gloves to handle this knife because the lightest touch with your finger, it is painful as hell because this is so sharp. It's crazy. And it does come with its own case. I normally keep the casings that the knives come in to protect them. So this does have its own box. I did not want to throw this box out because look how cool that looks. I mean, it's so shiny, and it's got like the bald eagle symbol on it, and it says Marines on it, and it says M-Tech USA, so it was made in the USA. So it's pretty cool. Then on the back, it says principles and values. Honor, courage, and commitment are the values that guide us. Semper Fidelis is the motto that bonds us. To guard our nation is to guard its principles, becoming not only an elite warrior, but also a noble one. The few, the proud. So, and then it says, all used marks are property of the United States Marine Corps and is used under license by Master Cutlery, Inc. M-Tech is a registered trademark of Master Cutlery. And it says, so That basically just tells you right there that this is a very sharp blade because it says cutlery on it. And now we're going to go to one of my favorite weapons. And that is my claws. Now I've been trying to find these for quite a while now. Now these are not made of regular stainless steel like my other blades. These are made of copper steel. And these are really sharp blades. Like it literally, anything that comes in contact with these claws, it sticks right to it. Like it's so sharp, it's crazy. Now these are called Combat X claws, and sometimes they're also called Wolverine claws. And these are made for hunting and camping, hiking, whatever you call it. They have a string to it, so I guess if you don't want it to fall, you can hold it by doing this. So you just wrap the string around your wrist, and so like they won't fall, but they'll just hang there. But so yeah, but these are really cool, so I love doing this. Doing the butterfly. But these are very, very sharp, like really sharp. I remember how in the old Wolverine movie, when he was in the bathroom, he was going like this with his claws. He was like, and then he goes and he accidentally cuts the toilet in half, and it was so funny. When I got these claws, I was so excited. These were very expensive. Well, technically one of them were expensive. The other one was cheap. Let's say, I think this one was like $34.99. And then this one was $14, like almost around $15. And I remember I heard about these when I was on YouTube, and there was a guy who does a lot of weapon reviews from video games, but like in real life weapons. And one of them was these claws, and it was the X Combat claws. And they look small, but when you use these, I mean, these shred like through anything. Like this shreds things like paper, and they're so sharp. Like I just love these weapons. I mean, claws have always been my favorite weapon because, I mean, dude, who does not like claws as a weapon? I mean, this is pretty sick. And plus, I love Wolverine, and I always loved his claws. Everybody loved his claws. So I thought, I wonder if there's actually a weapon that are basically look like Wolverine claws. And I found these ones. And I like that it has these ridges right on top of it. And what's cool about it is that when you touch them together, they make that little shing sound. And that's how you know they're sharp. And plus it makes that, it kind of like shakes in your hand when there's sound in it. I mean, these are so much fun to use, you know. But again, you want to be very careful with these because you don't want to end up clawing yourself with it. But yeah, they're really sharp. Let me see if I can. So they can stick to just about anything. So these are cool. Only problem is that I know that when you the part that you put your fingers through, they kind of hurt my fingers, so I have to wear gloves to wear them. But these are really fun. I'm always gonna admire these the most out of my weapon collection. So that's those. And now, for the moment that everybody's been waiting for, we are now going to review my swords and my machete. So we're going to start off with this one. And this is a machete. Very, very sharp. So these are really sharp. This is extremely sharp. Yes, I also did get this one from Wish app as well. When I clean these big weapons of mine, I know I have to be extremely careful because they're so sharp. So when I'm cleaning it, I have my hand on it like this, and I also, when I close my hand, I'm also rubbing my hand against the top of this, and that's also very sharp. So when I clean them, I use a really big towel and I wear gloves so that I don't end up hurting my hand. So it's cool because I love the fact that it's curved up like that. And it says crafted in China. So when I ordered this, it asked what color would you like the handle to be, and it said would you like it to be yellow or red, and I chose red because I love black and red colors together. But this blade is very sharp because when I got this in the packaging, it was so sharp that it ripped right through the packaging halfway. Okay. And now we're going to look at these weapons. Now these are ninja machetes. And these can be used for cutting weeds outside or cutting your way through leaves and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Where is the damn thing? So now one is bigger than the other. Now I know it doesn't really look sharp, but it actually is very sharp. It can chop pretty well. So these are very shiny. And I love the sound it makes. So it has an engraving on the machete. I can't quite translate it. I was trying to translate it off my phone, but my phone couldn't pick it up. I do not know why. But they are red. And they can chop pretty well. So let's see if there's a box in here I can chop. Let's try chopping this one. Pretty sharp. So these are pretty sharp, like really sharp. You can see the tip there, very sharp. So yeah, I also did now these ones I got from Amazon. So And these ones, you can get them in 3 different colors. You can get them in a blue, a red, or a yellow. Now, I've been trying to find a sheath that where you can actually put them in the back like this, instead of carrying them on my arm. I hate it. And I was trying to find a sheath that can carry the swords on your back. And I did find a lot of them, but a lot of them are extremely expensive. They're like $40, and it's ridiculous. So if you guys know any places that I could order me a sheath for a cheaper price that are ones that can hold swords and on your back, please comment and let me know. I would love to know about that. So we're going to put these babies back because I'm going to start chopping things up with these because they're so much fun to use. Probably sound a little bit dark there, but just saying. Oh, also, I want to show you this real quick. So when you order them online, they look like this. They do look like that. So one is like on top of the other. So as you can see, well, this one is smaller. This one is bigger. So you want to make sure you put them in the right part of the sheath, because one is made for the smaller one, the other one is made for the bigger one. I can't get it in. Ugh, why is this so complicated? Oh, here we go. Trying to find the freaking slots for this sword, and I did, but they're so annoying to put the sword back in. Go. So it's always important to make sure that you're careful when you put them back in the sheath, because they do get stuck sometimes and they can cut right through it because they're so sharp. And sometimes the strap gets kind of stuck under the handle, so you have to like push the blade up a little to get them out. So now we're going to go to another pair of machete swords that I got, and these are called something, I forgot the name. Now these ones are a bit bigger than the red ones. So these ones are one of the first swords that were made in Japan, and they are a shorter kind of sword, and they were used by a lot of samurai warriors when they were under attack by enemies, and they're often mistaken for katanas, but They're not katanas. They're Takeyoshis, I think that's what they're called. So now I'm going to show you how much damage that did. Now imagine that on a human being's flesh. That's probably what you would end up like. And you'd probably be dead. And then it has an engraving here, but I honestly don't think it is engraved. It looks more like paint. Now, the thing is, what's tricky about these weapons is putting them back in the sheath. Now, you don't want to do this because it doesn't go in like that. Now, you see how in the back of these machetes, swords, that they have a flat surface, and then you see these two looking designs on the handle? You want to basically turn them facing each other like this, but both facing like this way, like showing this part of the sword, not the part with the wording on it, the part that has no wording on it whatsoever. And you want to just gently, so you don't hurt your hands, you want to just close them like this, and you want to put them back like that. They kind of look like scissors, don't they? They literally look like scissors when you do that. So now you want to take this, and you'll want to put them very easily without hurting your hand. Now it helps if you squeeze it so you can make the hole bigger to put them in. Because I know I have a hard time by just holding it and then trying to balance it to go in there. So then this is how you put the swords in. And they go in just like a glove. And then it has the strap on it, but you want to probably go down like this. And then, where's the other one at? Oh, here it is. And you can see that it has this part of the strap, so you want to take this and put it over. And you want to button it, and there you go. Good as new. Swords won't come out. Okay, well, that's about all the weapons I have today. Sorry I couldn't show you the other one because it was not coming out. Obviously, what do I expect? It's a crappy knife. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and hopefully when there's nicer weather outside in the spring, I will go outside and show you these weapons and what they can do. Whenever my mother starts gardening again and there's weeds outside, I'm going to be so psyched to cut them up with my machete swords. I don't know which one I'm going to use because I have like 3 different machetes, and I just don't know which one to choose. But I'm probably thinking of either using the regular machete that I have, or the red swords, or possibly the, I'm probably going to use the black ones. But anyways, have a nice day, guys, and hopefully there'll be more videos to come soon about my weapons. Thank you.